up? What is up? What is up? What is up? This is your boy Warren G, and the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003, which means can't nobody finesse me. Hey, man, what is going on? Is Jesus back? Did he come back? God damn, that's fucked up, man. Nigga did not come back. That's fucked up. Everybody's like, God damn, did he come back? God damn, that's fucked up, man. Nigga did not come back. That's fucked up. Everybody's like, God damn. I know that type of shit. Speaking in tongues. Man, what is going on? We are back and black. Yeah, I'm hitting y'all up early because I got so much other shit to do. And it's hot to the motherfucker outside. But anyway, what is going on? What is going on? Shout out to everybody that's handling business at the Core Plantation. I know what the fuck you're doing. It's fucked up out here, especially if you're working today. Man, I know it's not fun at all. I mean, without a doubt, it's not fun. So shout out to everybody that's at the Core Plantation and make it do what it do. That shit is not fun. It's not easy. I can't even stand a motherfucker ask me, man, why you working on Sunday or why you working on Saturday? Nigga, cause I ain't got no choice. Nigga, I got bills to pay. It's how they explaining that shit to a nigga all the time. Like, man, why you work today? Nigga, cause I got bills to pay, motherfucker. So why you asking me? Ah, damn. But anyway, man, shout out to all you motherfuckers that's out there handling business. Shout out to all my people that's sitting around the house trying to figure out a way to finesse, and they got a 25 cent to $2. Okay, them niggas be like, hey man, let me get a buck. Then the next day, hey man, you got $2? Then 3 days later, hey man, hey, just let me hold $5 to payday. Nigga, you already owe me $10. What the fuck you mean? They just finesse you in increments. Shout out to the increment finessing ass niggas. And shout out to all my motherfuckers that be like, it's hot? Well, hell, it's much hotter than this. I can't stand that shit. Man. So much shit going on, so much shit to talk about. You know, man, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into a lot of shit, man. But before we get into that, I just gotta send a special shout out to motherfuckers that's working out there in the hot ass sun, and for a motherfucker to be like, well, I know a place that's much hotter than this. Well, where the fuck is it? What is it, Ether? The planet Ether? Shit. Nigga, ain't nothing hotter than this shit. God damn, it's hot to the motherfucker. But anyway, man, gonna get into it and just enjoy ourselves, man, on the Sunday afternoon. So much going on. I know niggas is getting ready to watch the Lakers game and shit. So I get it. Go ahead and watch either the Lakers game or the Clipper game, one of them. Motherfucking games is horrible, too. I can't even get into the fucking games. I need the crowd there. Shit look fraudulent as fuck, but I guess anything to make that money. And why these motherfuckers is making money, that's what we need to do. But first, there's a lot of things that we got to discuss. So we gonna get into it. So shout out to everybody that is making it happen today. If you done sang you a solo at church or testified or went to Sunday school this morning or whatever that bullshit it is, hey man, more power to you. Much power and respect. I ain't hating on you. You know, motherfuckers go to church and so they can feel good and shit. They get to coming around you and talking that save shit. Well, man, you just need to get God in your life and all this other shit. Okay, man, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? But hey, to each his own. Hey. Let me turn this shit down. Oh, man. Man. It's a lot going on, man. Man, first, man, the question of the day is, are we honorable in black business? Are we honorable? The reason why I say that is, man, because I just see how we quick to attack each other when things go sideways, when it's business matters. And I've been looking at a lot of things. I played a video recently about Jay Morrison eating up Vlad TV. And I like Jay. I went to his corner class. I'm going to get right into it. I like that. I see a lot of people going at him. Tony the Closer. I see a lot of people going at him. But, you know, I'm going to have my own opinion, you know, about the whole situation. And, let me see. I'm going to have my own I'm gonna have my own opinion about it. Now I done heard some videos, listen and watch. I heard one sister. I like what one of these sisters said. I gotta look for the video. She was kind of going in on Jay, but she did give him props about all the shit that she learned from Jay Morrison. And that's what it's all about. Me, see, I grew up in church. So before I even get started, no, this isn't finna be I'm bashing Jay Morrison, none of that, because I don't know the brother personally. But I'm just finna give y'all my perspective. And my perspective is this. This is my perspective. When y'all dealing with black folks and their money, you have to be honorable. You have to be honorable in business. You have to be honorable with people's money. You cannot be finessing people out of shit, because niggas will turn into vultures, savages. Niggas will turn into lions. Niggas will turn into wolves in a minute. And I think a lot of the times, I'm going to just be honest, a lot of the times I think when we get the knowledge before somebody else, we know how to finesse the game and run rings around most people that are lacking of knowledge or bereft of knowledge. So we kind of take that knowledge and then we can kind of run rings around people if people are gullible enough to be swindled, out of money, or not even be swindled, but be finessed out of certain things. I think we need to start doing our thorough research with people. We need to make sure before we do thorough research with other people, we're coming to the table legit, transparent, and honorable with money. That's what we need to do first. Now, on a personal level, now when you want to do a joint venture with somebody else and make some money, and your shit is straight, you put your shit on the table and then you expecting them to put their shit. That means they can vet you out and you vet them out. But I think black folk, we look at the glitz and the glam and then we want it. It's like going to a church and you see Bishop Noel Jones or Bishop Blake or one of them, and I want to join because I want to be like that. And it's like, you got to do your thorough research and see what the fuck these people got going on. There might be things you might like. There might not be things you like too much. But I can only go on my personal perspective. And growing up in the church and seeing all the finessing and shit that was going on, that taught me a lot about just being honorable in business. Hell, I done been to churches where niggas' church looked like a goddamn construction site. And the nigga got a Benz parked outside the church. I mean, literally the nigga was exposing us to asbestos and mesothelioma in the 80s. And the nigga got a Benz parked outside. And it's like, well, nigga, do you like your Benz or do you like your church? But that's the type of shit that I grew up seeing. I grew up seeing that type of shit. So I'm very familiar with that. That's why I'm very, very... Even when I started investing in stock and bonds and all that, I didn't just join Dr. Boyce Watkins Academy because I wanted him to save me. No, I did my thorough research, not on him, on stock and bonds and reading books. And then before, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't join Dr. Boyce Watkins Academy and none of that. I just went and did the research for myself. Not because I didn't trust Boyce Watkins. I didn't trust what he was doing. I just wanted to learn it on my own. And I didn't really have time. And I really didn't at the time want to make the time to do some type of online schooling or nothing. And no diss, I got love for Dr. Boyce Watkins. I got Think Like a Millionaire, Financial Love Making. I want to get all his books. But this, we got to stop looking at people as our personal saviors in Jesus Christ. I think that's what we assume. When somebody has a different road or a different avenue to get you out of the poorhouse, and you may take vested interest in it, you now make those people your God. Now you like exalting them and they're your God. And then when they do something you don't like, then you come in guns blazing. And I think this is what I see going on right now with Jay Morrison and Tony the Closer and all these other people. And it's like, the thing that I see is like, if you're honorable in business and honorable with money, especially in business, then ain't nobody gonna really too much have nothing to say. Period. That's my perspective on it. And like I said, I can only talk about what I seen growing up. You know what I'm saying? I can only give you those experiences. And when you grow up in the church and you go to different churches and visit, and they give you speech, and then you gotta collect the offering, then you collecting another offering for a preacher, and you collect, I noticed that as a kid, like, well, damn, their job must be just preaching. But then when you're taking money from people, you should be living what they would call a holiness life. But a lot of those preachers weren't living a holiness life. A lot of those preachers was just finessing and collecting money. And I think a lot of it is, I would say this. I think a lot of it is ego A lot of it is finessing. And I think a lot of it is deaf, dumb, and blind people that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? It's true. That's why you have all these mega churches. These mega churches will collect more money, and then you look at the neighborhoods around them. They're poverty stricken. I remember I was watching Preachers of Detroit. That one preacher, I mean, he had a big ass convention center in Detroit. But Detroit is like the slum of the United States of America. It's fucked up. They sell a house for like $1,000 out there. But I don't think, in my personal opinion, it's the goal of the preachers and the pastors to take the community and change it a lot of times. I think it's the goal of the preachers and the pastors to finesse so they can look good. And it's true. It's a pyramid scam that works perfect for the finesser at the top. And I think that we take too much vested interest in them saving us and not saving ourselves. That's just what I think. That's just my personal opinion. I can't change that. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I grew up like that, man. And trust me, to tell you the truth, that's exactly why a lot of these churches and shit are allowed by the dominant society, because they know most black folk are not going to be honorable in business when it comes to using that religion to get people to give up their bread. They know that. They know what the fuck is going on. Now, there are some honorable preachers in this world, and there are some honorable pastors in this world that will be honorable in business. But as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, you have to be honorable in business in people's money, because when you're not, they're gonna come back even fold and have this to say and that to say and this to do and that to do. You know, I think a lot of the times we don't vet ourselves out before we try to go into business with other people. And you're like, well, what do you mean, Warren? You don't got no business. No, I don't. But I'm learning a lot about watching all these other black entrepreneurs go into business with each other and deal with each other. And then they fall out. Now they airing out all their dirty laundry. And it's like, man, just listening to some of, like I said, this sister that I listened to, I like what she said, because she said something very interesting. She just kind of was like, she didn't like a lot of the shit that Jay Morrison was doing, but she gave him props on what she learned from him. She was like, well, you know, I had a little extra money to trick off. I didn't get the money back. It wasn't no big deal. Yeah, he got me, but I learned a lot about real estate. It's just fucked up that a lot of other people don't have extra money to trick off. That's where the problem lies. That's where the wolf in sheep's clothing. And what ends up happening is, that's, for me, I feel like a lot of times we're being around the dominant society and watching them fuck each other over. The dominant society will fuck each other over and smile and shake hands with each other and laugh and have drinks and a cup of tea and don't be worried about it. Go home to their families and not a big deal. Black folks kill each other. You know what I mean? Because we know how hard it is to come across bread. And I think a lot of the times we are just, I just think a lot of the times we are impatient with each other. That's why, shout out to Wendy. Shout out to you. I read your messages. Thank you for sending those. Yeah, I'm not mad at Freedom Paper Company. Like Shawnee said the same thing. They messed up my order. I get it. My thing is, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's the only thing I would give to any black entrepreneur. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Y'all remember that song? If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You bet. Hey, if you do that, you good. Hey, salute Warren. Queens in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Shawnee? And like I said, man, I just listening. There were certain people that were oppositional of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund in the very beginning, and I thought about investing, but I had other shit going on. But my thing is, after I had did my investigation on Jay Morrison, some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I really didn't like, but I wasn't gonna go, or not like, but disagree with. I wasn't gonna go on my social media platform or tell people not to do it. I bought his book. I went to see him at the Corners class. I don't have no problem with none of that. Hey, I know you got to make your bread and all this other stuff. I get it. You found you a hustle and you did it. And Shawnee, like I told you before, that's why I don't give out my what you call it. I forgot. That's why there's no super chat on here. That's why I don't have no PayPal or no none of that shit where you can pay me. Because I don't want no. But I know how that feels when when you collected money from people. People want you to produce. That's what happened with Umar. Dr. Umar was a great orator. And I think Dr. Umar Johnson is not just a great vocal personification of black history and black education. I think Dr. Umar is very intelligent, but I think sometimes we don't know how to do it all. And I think when Dr. Umar started taking everybody's money, you know how we treat each other. That's like me. If I start taking everybody's money, like I said, that's why I don't have no Cash App. None of that. That was one of the first thing I was about to say. That's what happened to Dr. Umar. Exactly. I remember when I was watching Dr. Umar, I could just use that for an example. Shawnee, I remember this shit. And I was like, man, that's going to be good. But I'm only giving my perspective on this. So don't nobody take this and say I'm dissing Jay Morrison and none of that, because I think Jay Morrison is an intelligent dude too. But I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. When he started asking for money to donate and he was on different platforms and stuff like that, and I just like, oh, this brother sound good. But whenever I hear a person talk about donate, I gotta watch you for a while. See, I gotta watch you for a while. Like I've watching Farrakhan for the last 12, 13 years. I gotta watch you. I gotta see how consistent you are. I gotta see those things. I gotta know what I'm dealing with. And that's why when me and Nuke started this podcast, I told Nuke, I was like, nah, we're not doing no cash apps. We're not doing no super chat. We're not doing none of that. She was like, okay, cool. I was like, nah, man, because this is not what I'm trying to do. Because when you start taking people's money, you have to be consistent. That's one. You have to be honorable. And you have to be, I would say, transparent. The people were disappointed in his promises that he didn't keep. Exactly. Very disappointed in the promises he didn't keep. You remember that? I remember people was trying to argue me down about that shit. I was like, look, man, I don't give a fuck how smart you are. If you're not honorable with business and people's money, that's it. There's your legacy right there. And you could be the greatest orator or orator or whatever however that shit is pronounced, the greatest speaker ever. But when it comes to people's money, ain't a damn thing funny. Thank you. We ask questions when it comes to money. I'm gonna tell you that right now, man. So as I'm looking at this video of Tony the Closer, I've watched, I'm not gonna lie, I've watched 7 different videos of him, and every video the nigga's saying the same thing over and over again. He's not breaking stride, the story's not changing, and that's his truth and that's his perspective. Like I said, when I first saw Jay Morrison, I liked his energy, I liked his knowledge, but I grew up in a church. So once a nigga start talking about donating, you already know what I'm on. You have to be consistent with me. And I'm not talking about 2, 3, 4. You have to be consistent, and you have to have other avenues. I always look at it like this. If you're around somebody and you like them, they ain't got to ask you to donate nothing. Really, a lot of the times. You know, sometimes they do. They should. There's certain platforms where I watch where they shouldn't have to ask because it's very good knowledge and you should be donating. And maybe that's my fault too. I should be more like that. There's some people I watch where I'm like, oh yeah, man, I have no problem. But then there's some people, when they get to talking about donating and all this other stuff, you just be like, all right, no, we starting this other stuff. You know, I always view it like that. So when you're the greatest orator ever, it doesn't really faze me because I'm always looking at, like I said, I grew up Church of God in Christ. I've seen the best preachers in the United States of America, but you always got to give them an offering. And my thing is, well, if they had a job, they wouldn't need no offering. Didn't they say Jesus was a carpenter? So then why the fuck you not working? And see, that was always my thing. That's why I always be like, all right. So I grew up watching that type of finesse. And I'm not saying that everybody's finessing. I'm not saying that Jay Morrison was finessing. I don't know that brother. And I don't know Tony the Closer. I don't know them two brothers. But I can tell you this, when you're dealing with black money and black business, we got to be honorable. We have to be honorable. And you're like, what you mean, Warren? You got to be honorable. Because if you're not honorable, to me, that opens, to me, that just opens it wide for people to zone in and be like, I knew it. Because you know how black folks are. We can't be like, aha, I got you, nigga. I knew you guilty, nigga. And that's the shit that I was kind of like disappointed in, because I wish them two brothers would have handled it differently than the way they did. And like I said, I don't know these two brothers, but I'm going to tell y'all right now, just from me growing up, man, we got to stop letting these people be our saviors. Like Umar, like Dr. Umar Johnson. Great person, intelligent, smart. Sometimes, you know, too smart for your own good, but I think ego gets involved. You start getting the money, people start liking you, you know, you get this fanfare and people following you around. But if you're not honorable in business, because I'm gonna tell you right now, we still waiting on that school that he said he has, and he's taking all these applications, all this other shit. But where is that? This shit been 6 years in the making. And that's why I was like, this ain't gonna be no school. And I never donated to it, because I just, you know, I knew it. But been listening to y'all for a while and I feel comfortable. Yeah, no, that's why we didn't do it, Shawnee. I swear to God, Shawnee, that's why we didn't do it. That's exactly why, because I was like, look, we ain't gonna have no fan base as it is. People ain't gonna know us. And I'm always an organic person. Even when I used to be in a production crew, I was in 2 production crews. I already told that story. Both production crews, they wanted to like try to make all this money. I'm like, well, bro, you gotta sometimes give your product away for free. Then hopefully somebody get on it and then they'll fuck with it. Then you will draw demand. And you know, I didn't know nothing about business, but I knew that was the best way to go. You know, you create a buzz first and then people fuck with it and then they, you know what I mean? It's just like with Jay Morris, I like what he's doing. I like the real estate fund. I don't know in detail. I read a lot of information on it, but I'm not gonna lie. Facts. See? And that's what I'm saying. And let me tell you something, Shawnee. The bookstore idea of yours is definitely something that I would invest and support in. Exactly. And you already know me. I wouldn't even say nothing. One day, I'll just do a live podcast from my bookstore. Then you'll be like, oh, shit. Y'all not, look, man, that's one thing I've learned, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. I don't have a business, but watching other people in their business, you got to be honorable. And if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And when you're dealing with people's money, you got to be on point. You have to be on point, because we already don't like each other as it is. We already despise each other's success as it is. And we got to stop faking it to make it. You know what I mean? That's why I remember, I think Wendy was there. Nuke was there when we went to Jay Morris's corner class, and I liked it. And then I'm going to tell you, this is my honest perspective on Jay's corner class. I think it was very informative. I put it on my podcast about a year ago. Shawnee, you remember that shit. I put it on there. I thought it was great. But the only thing that, you know, me, this is just me. This is my perspective. I had already bought his book. So when they had people get up and his wife, you know, do his speech and all that, and I thought it was great, you know, black entrepreneurship and all this other stuff. But then at the end when he was like, well, that's why I just want y'all to, you know, take my class. And I'm not supposed to do this today, but I'm doing it today. I was dying laughing. I knew it. And I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to be negative, but I can now. And he was just like, usually this class is $600 or $500, but I'm going to do it for $4.99 or $3.99 or some shit like that. And I'm just like, yeah, man, that's good. And you can tell the majority of the people that was there was like, yeah. Nah, I'm not fucking with that. And I was dying laughing because there was a lot of niggas that I knew there that was like, man, you finna do it? I was like, nah, I got his book. I'm gonna just read his book. I got my investments tied up other places, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, I ain't tripping off that shit, you know. And I was telling people that was at the corner class, hey, man, try it. Let me know how it worked. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I never even did Boyce Watkins shit. A lot of times when people try to peddle things to me, my antennas go up and then I just kind of be like, okay, I'm not mad at them because, okay, they got to hustle and I get it, but I'm not finna jump into it like it's going to be Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, that's going to save me from poverty. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's where your wisdom kicks in and your gut instincts, and you kind of looking and knowing what finessing is. And I'm not saying that Jay Morrison was a finesse. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is growing up in it like I did, it's like a preacher, you know, he's praying for people and he's jumping on tables and doing all this other stuff. And at the end, that's why we just gonna have one more offering for the building fund, all this other shit. And you looking around, you like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, how much you putting into it, motherfucker? You know, that's just how we are. Shout out to the people that will give your stimulus to the bookstore idea. That's facts. That's what I'm saying. My thing has always been this. I learn a lot from other people's businesses and how they, you know, go about things, their business acumen, and where they fail, that's where I want to succeed. And the thing that I've learned the most about dealing with my people, just dealing with people in general, you can't hound people over money. Sometimes you got to fall back on that. You got to fall back on that money aspect and you have to create other streams of revenue so you ain't just totally dependent on your client base to take care of you. Because I think a lot of us, this is just my personal opinion, when we find a niche and we find like a little key of knowledge, we want to flip it and monetize. And I get it. You want to flip it, monetize it, do your thing. And then we want to stay comfortable in living on that monetization of other people. So we don't mind living off that. It's just like a preacher having a church and having this flock of sheep, and then they're paying for everything and doing everything. And because they're waiting on you to give your good word, but you're not going out, getting a job, making sure you're doing things. You know, I feel like this finesse thing it's getting big. And I think a lot of the times when we go into business with each other, we're more focused on making the money than vetting each other out in business. I did Boys Watkins class, and it took so long to get to the point. I said, listen to the boys, though. I just not take any advanced class as of yet. Exactly. See, I'm not going to lie to you. Man, when you work at the corporate plantation, Shawnee, Wendy, all of us, man, our time is limited. So when you hit me up with a class or something like that, unless it's like metaphysics by Dr. Phil Valentine, now that I'll make time for, because that's something that's mind healing. But when it comes to those classes, I got love for Dr. Boyce Watkins, but I'd rather just read his books. You know what I mean? I could do that, but I want to read the books, man. I chose a different route on purpose. That's why when I got involved in stock and bonds, I just started reading the books. Yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube videos and, watch some online courses on YouTube about stock, but it was nothing better than just picking up a book and reading it and doing the research for myself. And not just listening to Boyce Watkins and listening to Jay Morrison. No, I just did the research for myself. That's why I bought his book, because I said, I'll get back to reading it one day. And when I read Think Like a Millionaire, I was just like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, that's just me. I'm not telling people not to go take Boyce Watkins' class or anything like that. I'm just saying that's just not me. But I don't think we should necessarily not take the class. But when you take the class, don't think it's going to be your Lord Jesus Christ and Savior. Don't think that it's going to be ma'at. Don't think that it's going to be something that's going to pull you out of poverty and you're going to wake up. Man, this is a slow grind. This is a marathon, as Nipsey Hussle would say. Not a sprint. It's a marathon. And I think a lot of us are looking for a get rich scheme. That's why you got so many niggas reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's an Asian guy. That's not from a black person's perspective. Put that book down and go read The Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbrough. Come on, man. Read books that you know are relatable to you. I just think a lot of the times, in my personal opinion, I just think a lot of the times we as human beings, we looking for black businesses to save us. And as soon as they fuck up, like, that's why I never tripped. Look, Freedom Paper Company, this was in March. It's about to be September. Y'all don't see me on here bashing them. Yeah, maybe it's a mix-up like me and Shawnee talked about. And yeah, am I a little disappointed? Yeah. But that's not gonna stop me from doing future business. I would just hope that they rectify the situation in the future. That's what I was telling Wendy. You know, because when you email them, I get it. It's busy, it's frantic, whatever. I get it. But I'm gonna have more leniency towards a black business because I know it's harder for us. My thing is, I learned from that. So when I start my business, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. which means I don't want nobody out there chastising me in the wrong way. I want them to do what I'm doing. Like, okay, well, man, Warren's bookstore, I ordered a book from his bookstore. Nigga, I still ain't got my book yet. You know, woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? But I still got love for you. That's how you do your people. You don't go on there, man, fuck Freedom Paper Company. They book, nah, I ain't tripping off that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the $100 went to somebody. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm balling anything, but if I'm gonna lose $100, I'm gonna lose it with my own people. I ain't gonna lose it with white folk. That's just how I look at it. And I think we gotta look at it like that and stop. Anytime I remember so many people were so mad at Dr. Umar because school never produced. But my thing is, well, why was y'all putting all y'all, if this man was a one-man band, why would you put all your trust in him? If he did, look at his business acumen. Let's see, how many businesses has he ran? Okay, what has he done? How many businesses has he opened up? People could have did the research for themselves. And then when they donated, they could have donated in clear conscience that, okay, I might not be getting this money back, or he might not even tell me exactly where this money is going. I think that's what we need to start thinking. Instead of being like, well, I donated to Jay Morrison's Tulsa Fund. That's why the whole time I just was like, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. And if it get popping, then that's when I'll do it. If it don't get popping, there's no love lost for me, because at the time when he came up with his stuff 2 years ago, I was heavily invested in stock and bonds and shit. So I wasn't even really like focused on that, even though it was a black real estate fund. But see, I watch people too. Like I said, I got love for Jay Morrison. I don't know him personally, but you know, sometimes when you flashy, you're asking for trouble. And I can forgive Freedom Paper, but Dr. Umar said, y'all don't quit the Chinese store when they fuck up. That's a fact. That's a fact. We keep fucking with them. To this day, I see black people in Chinatown. But on the west side, I don't never see no Chinese people. Chinese people don't give a fuck about no niggas, but we sure do. Shrimp fried rice, Kung Pao chicken. We love they shit to death. When's the last time you seen a Chinaman on the west side or anywhere in a predominantly black neighborhood, you know what I mean, where they patronize in black business? No, they'll never do that because they don't care. Dr. Claude Anderson teaches that. I just think we're not honorable in business. I was even watching, Shani, I've been meaning to ask you about that. I've been watching Jaguar Wright, man. And she has not been happy with the Roots and Common and all them and Erykah Badu, and none of that stuff really surprises me of what she said, because I think we think because they sing Neo Soul that they're somehow our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Like they don't like to fuck. They don't like to do shit. You know what I mean? I think that's what we thought. And I'm like, damn, man, but she seemed really heartbroken. I think a lot of times us in business, we just, man, we'll step on each other's neck to get popping. You know what I mean? And I think that's not a necessary good thing. And I think the dominant society knows that, and they capitalize off that. That's just my personal opinion. Because listen to Jaguar Wright, it was a lot of pain and emotion behind what she was saying. And ain't nobody gonna really dispute it, because a lot of the shit looked like she was saying was, I felt, a direct reflection of how we view each other and how we do business with each other. I'm talking about relationship-wise, money-wise, all that. If you're not honorable in business, things are never gonna work for you. You gotta be honorable in business and money. Stop trying to, that's even to this day. If you got friends around because they have their I would say they bring some type of an asset to your life, like, oh, you know this person because they the weed man, you know that person because they got the liquor, you know that person because they got this up on the groceries, you know that person, you know, you got to understand, okay, I can see if you're doing a medium of exchange, like money, like you paying these people for their services, but you just got a whole bunch of people around because you got a hookup. Nah, man, you're a finesser too. You got to be honorable in business, because one day you might be in business, you might want somebody to support it, and then people going to be looking at you the same way you look at everybody else. That's why when it comes to black businesses, we always want a discount. We don't never want to pay full price. You know what I mean? That's why I don't never, like I said, with RandallMartin.com, I never got my shirt. To this day, never. Never one time. But it's all good, because I just like, man, I ain't tripping. What is it? It's a black business, $80. Fuck it. Now his business acumen is up to par. Fuck it. I can go back on there and get a shirt. I ain't tripping. I just think we're not as patient with each other as we are with other businesses. It's a fact. And I think a lot of the times we view each other through the dominant society's eyes. Then when we figure we can go into business with each other, then we are happy and good. And then when the business go belly up because we're not handling business honorably, then we mad at each other. And then we start slinging mud and going on social media. And that's why, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about this shit. And I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It just blows my mind, man, because I think a lot of the times people, this is my personal opinion, especially us, we be looking for a savior so bad. Wait, the U.S. signed a treaty that businesses are told not to support black businesses. I believe it. I believe it. That's why they bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood as well. Any place that has predominantly black businesses that are flourishing, they're going to do whatever to get you out of there. You know what I mean? That's why when I was listening to their videos and watching and looking at what Tony the Closer was saying, and my thing, like, what I didn't like was it was a sister on there, man, a light-skinned sister, I don't know if she mixed or whatever, and she was kind of interviewing him, and it just seemed messy. And I feel like we need to stop trying to profit off of mess and have solutions. That's why on this podcast, y'all notice I'm only giving my opinions and my perspectives, and I'm not going in on Jay. I'm not going in on Tony the Closer. I'm not going in on Boyce. I just said, hey, I've been following both. I tell people to follow Boyce all the time. But I didn't necessarily take his class. I bought his books, but I didn't take his classes. That's because I didn't take his classes. I got love for Dr. Umar Johnson, but I didn't donate to his school. That doesn't necessarily mean I was right the whole time. Because I never thought in my mind, there ain't gonna never be no school. I just was like, nah, I'm good. I've always been that way. When it's like, well, you take my online course. Nah, I don't even have that much time to do it. So that's why I'm like, nah, you got a book or something tangible that I can buy. That's why when Jay Morrison had his book, I just bought his book. Now, when I was like I said, I can only speak on my perspective. When I was there, everybody was very respectful. Everybody was very, very much engaged and looking at you in the eye and, hey, man, I'm glad. How'd you hear about it? And, hey, it was good. I didn't see no disrespect or nothing like that. But like I said before, everything was all good. But when a nigga was like, I'm going to do this once and I'm going to get my classes for $3.99, but the normal price is $4.99, like you giving us a deal, that's a car salesman mentality. And when I hear that, it's not just a red flag, it's just more like, all right, I'm good. I'll just read your book, my nigga, and I hope you do it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a hater. I'm not dissing Jay Morrison. I watched some of his corner classes. I think it's very, very good information. But the thing that, to me, that I've learned, once you build it up, you just let them come. And that's it. Yeah, you can tell them, hey, man, my classes. First, this is my perspective when I went to the Corners class. The first thing I would have said was, look, I know people can't afford to pay for class. I know people can't afford to do it. But you know what? If y'all sign up today, I'll give you my classes for free. That's how much I'm going to invest in y'all if you serious. But you have to take my classes. If you take the classes, if you sign up today, go online today and take my classes today, you get them for free. And I'm taking the first 50 people that sign up, you can get my class for free. And you can vet me out if you want. And if you think I'm bullshit, you can drop the class. But if you think I'm for show, then go ahead and tell the next person. That's how you do it. Those are just good marketing tools. But a lot of times when you're dealing with poor and disenfranchised black folk, yeah, we can be like, well, y'all spend that money on Jordans. And you right. We do. We do. We spend that money on Jordans. We spend that money on shit that we shouldn't spend it on. But I'm going to tell you this. When you're a black man and you're doing business and it's not honorable, eventually motherfuckers going to be looking for you like Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson was collecting a lot of money, and I'm only going to have black teachers and black this and black that. And I get it. Black. Believe me, black. Okay. Where's the school, Umar? Then it was just like, nobody's going to tell me what to do, and people question me about money. Now you getting all offended But where's the school? This was in 2013, 2014. Now 2020, no school. This is why people need to stop looking at others as their Messiah and their Lord Savior Jesus Christ, just because they're great orators and shit, and great speakers and have great charismatic personalities. And you know, you need to understand this is business too. And in business, you're gonna deal with finesse, you're gonna deal with all that other shit. And like I said, when I was at the corner class, I thought it was great. Wendy was there, Nuke was there. I thought it was great. I remember even Nuke talked about it. Nuke didn't really say nothing bad either. Nuke was just like, I'm thinking about taking the class. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it too. And I'm like, man, I think I can make some money. But then I just was kind of like, man, let me read the book first. Let me get him around. Let me go do some more research. And then when I came up on the real estate fund, I started doing more research. And then I just kind of was like, well, I got too much vested in stock and bonds and other shit. I'll just read his book. When you get a chance, read Franklin D. Roosevelt, The American Franchise. I know I got to check my emails. I know you probably been sending me books. I got to check my emails. Good. Wait, hold on. When people post books, I'm going to go look for it. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Hold on, y'all. American Franchise. Let me see. I'm looking it up right now. It's called The American Franchise. American Franchise books. Let's see if it comes up. 'Cause it's not coming up. Where'd you get it at? Damn, it's not coming up. I'm looking for a book right now, that's why. Let's see. American Franchise. Nah, it's not even coming up. Damn. American Franchise. I'm gonna have to find it somewhere else. It's an article, The New Coalition. Okay. All right, I gotta go check that out. Cause I think it's very imperative. Sorry about that. I was looking for the book. I just think it's very imperative that we stop looking for black folks to be the Messiah, and then when they fuck up one time, you have all this vitriolic feelings and animosity towards them, but we don't take that same energy and direct it towards the dominant white society. Like right now, look at that cop in Detroit whose dog got out of control, if I'm not mistaken, and then the cop shot another dog that was behind a gate. They shot a dog that was behind a gate because the cop couldn't control her dog. What kind of shit is that? Then, you know, you had another police officer who, in my personal perspective, he just didn't like the black bitch because he got a call that she was too loud on her porch. Then he arrested her and did all this other shit, and they fired her. It's like, but why do you think you can do that? That's because we're too busy not being honorable with business with each other. That's my personal opinion. We're just not honorable with business. And it starts with money, because everybody wants money. Nobody wants to take the time to handle business. Everybody just wants the money. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. So what you choose to do in your 24 hours is entirely up to you. But you can't be mad at the next person that they have constructed a way and facilitated a way to make and generate revenue in their 24 hours. You can't be mad. And if they're not honorable in business, that means you didn't do your research. And I think a lot of the times, like Tony DeCloser, he didn't do his research. Because if you did your research, you'd have been like, nah, I'm not going to do no business. If their business practices were different and oppositional of each other. You know, that's the thing, man. You got to vet yourself. The first thing you should do is when you're trying to go into business with someone or do a joint venture, Be transparent with your business acumen and how you do business. Have it in writing. Have it in writing. Have it this. Hey, let's go find a lawyer. Take it to a lawyer. We're going to sit down and we're going to both sign. All this, oh, it's homie love and oh, nah, you good and I trust you and all this other stuff. Then one person making all the money. And now you mad because you feel like you're doing more. That's the classic story of black folk. We partner up and all we see is the money first. We don't see nothing else. And then when shit go robust, we pissed off at each other. We got attitude and then we go to social media and it's like, damn, man. Sometimes it's just, we got to vet the system out. What are you trying to do? What's your research? You know what I mean? I deal with people all the time. Oh, man, I want to start a business. You want to start a business? Like, I don't know, man, because my business acumen, I'm still learning. And I'm more of a mean what I say what I mean. That's why we don't have a Cash App or none of that. I got a Cash App. I just never talk. And I'm not going to tell nobody. For what? Because I like consistency first. Shani probably one of the first people that's been listening to this podcast. And I'll say this. Shani knows the whole time. I ain't never been like, oh, man, well, you can hit me up on my Cash App and just donate. Nah, I ain't never did no shit like that. One of the first things I said was, man, I'm not doing no shit like that because, nigga, I work at the corn plantation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep y'all bread and invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'll build it. And when I build it, people will fuck with it. I've always been that way. I'm not a one that before I build it, I want to take donations. Nah. Unless I'm doing a documentary or something, then I'll just do crowdfunding or some shit like that where you know where your money is going. And then if I don't get it done, then your money gets refunded back. That's how you do shit. But I think a lot of the times we don't vet people. We quick to, give up the bread and then we be mad because we ain't vetted them. And then it's like, well, that's on you. You can't be mad at the person. You got to vet who you dealing with. Vet their business acumen. You know what I mean? Vet what the fuck is going on. I think a lot of times we don't want to do that shit. I'll say it one more time. When Dr. Umar Johnson was talking about his school, and I was just watching and listening, there was a couple of podcasts I was listening to and they would promote that. He had this whole thing where he was walking and had his little music playing, all that stuff. And I'm not dissing Umar, but I'm just like, all right, this is very dramatic and emotional. We gonna see. Then 2014 went by, then 2015. I was like, okay, where's the school? Then other people started questioning. Then when other people start questioning, this nigga having learned to get attitude. Then now, you like, okay, well, where's the school at? Still no school. Unless I'm wrong, prove me wrong. But I ain't seen no school. Where the school at? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Dr. Umar Johnson's school. Let's see. There was an update in 2019. So let's see. King Kong Consciousness Build the. Let's see. Here, let's see. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't see. Let's see. Dr. Umar Johnson's King Kong. The RGBA International Academy. Yeah, I can't even. Let's see, 100. All right, let's see. And I'm not. This ain't to diss nobody. This ain't to diss nobody or nothing like that. Because I'm not dissing nobody. I just want to know. Let's see. Let's see.
Does he really want to open a school? With the taxes on the property plus the penalties because the taxes are past due, the utility bills he has not paid since he purchased the property as of the making of this video, which is 10/31/2019, he is in the hole for $168,563.80. You might be asking yourself, how do I know this? Well, this information is available to the public, so let's take a look. First, let's look at the county taxes. So I'm going to go to the Newcastle County website. Enter the parcel ID for the first property.
They're looking up the property.
Here you see the owner. Now if we scroll down to the tax bill and look at the 2019 tax bill, we see the principal due is $2,589.55. There is a penalty of $155.38. Amount paid is $0. That was the county tax. Now let's look at the school tax. Principal due is $25,881.14. Penalty is $1,294.05. Amount paid is $0. Now let's look at the parcel ID for the other property.
And this is stuff that this brother is looking up. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, man, because this, I'm just saying, we got to be more honorable with business, y'all. We have to be more honorable with business. We cannot be the type of people where we're not honorable and then we trying to, first of all, be honorable. If you can't be honorable in business, you know you can't be honorable in business, then just take donations and then just do your thing or whatever. But you can't come on TV or just go on YouTube or whatever and you collecting all this money and all this bread. Niggas been waiting for this school for 6-7 years. Then you attack Tariq Nasheed and say I've seen, let me just put this shit out here right now. I gotta discuss this. I've seen more niggas take the time to go at Tariq Nasheed about frivolous bullshit, like hating shit, than just working on their own shit. And my thing is, I just think people are envious of Tariq Nasheed's business acumen. The brother knows business, and he knows how to handle business accordingly, and he's honorable in business. Because I've yet to hear anybody come out and be like, oh, Tariq didn't pay me my money, and blah. I've never heard nobody say no shit like that. Ever, 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 ever one time. Ever. But here it is, you done collected all this money, you ain't done shit with the school. And that's why it's like, damn, you're an intelligent brother, but when you're dealing with people's money, you have to be honorable, and you have to be transparent. And for no school not to take place in 6-7 years, ain't gonna be no school. And I think people know that, and I think they understand that. I just think a lot of people, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of people, they want to believe in the fairy tales because we want to see people do it so well. He didn't have to look that stuff like that. They don't do that to the dominant society like that. Exactly. Because let me tell you something. The dominant society is doing that all. What Umar Johnson is doing, the dominant society been doing it. Go watch the movie Wolf on Wall Street. That motherfucker was running the finesse the whole fucking goddamn time. You better look at Bernie Madoff, look at Martha Stewart, all of them. They been running game on Wall Street. That's all these people, Lehman Brothers. That's all the stock market is running a game and finessing. But what happens is when it's us black folk, we will take out the necessary time to put their ass on blast. But why do we have to do that if we just do it? If most black people have just done their research, and a lot of these times they wouldn't just be so forthgiving. And I get it. It is a pickle because a lot of times when you don't give and you don't donate, motherfuckers be like, oh, y'all donate to what? Look, let me tell you, I don't donate to shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I grew up in a finessing situation where I went from church to church to church, and all they did was take $1,000 a day, and then inside of their church, you exposed to asbestos and mesothelioma, but the pastor's driving the Benz. But the church is under construction the whole time you've been going there. So that should tell you. Trade that Benz in to get your church fixed. I seen more of that than anything else. So I am not the nigga that be giving niggas no money like that. I don't be doing shit like that. That's lame. It's fuck. I just think a lot of times, in my personal opinion, I just think a lot of times people, they love going in on each other. Like y'all notice with me, I'm not going in on the brother. I'm just saying, well, damn, you still ain't got the school. Come on, my nigga, what are you doing? And that's what I mean about being honorable in business. You can be a great, in my personal opinion, you can be a great teacher. You can be, but if your business acumen is not honorable and you're taking money from people, you're gonna have issues and problems. You just are. I don't care how black you are. I don't care how white you are. You're gonna have problems, especially when you're dealing with black folk. And that shit is not gonna change. I think a lot of the times people, in my personal opinion, I think a lot of the times people, they go out of their way to put each other on blast. Because we take, I don't know, it's just for some sort of reason, black people take pride in putting each other on blast. They do. They take pride in that. That's how I just was like, when I was watching, you know, the video, I was just listening to the brother and stuff like that. And I, you know, because I was like, I keep telling you, I was at the corners class. I thought he was great. He was very informational. You know, it's very informational. But I feel like people need to stop running to black folk as their messiah and do your own research and handle your own business. Because then you get disappointed when things turn out robust and it doesn't turn out the way you want. Now you mad. Because you're like, oh, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Thank you. I donate when I'm comfortable. It's okay to support. Just don't be stupid. Exactly. I'm telling you, when he did that corners class, when do you know when she watched this, niggas was like wanting to support and buy his books, which I liked. They had his books out there and niggas was trying to, I already had his book. So niggas was trying to support. Some niggas was running to take his class and some people wasn't. But a lot of the people that wasn't trying to take his class, they wasn't bashing him. They just kind of was like, oh, not right now. I talked to a few people that's like, nah, I'm not taking that class right now. I'll probably read his book, but I got other shit going on. But I'm still support it any way I can. That's real. I just think it's almost like going to church and the preacher preaching and he's saying you got any illness, stand in this aisle. And this is the tithing hour, woo woo woo. And then here you are jumping in that aisle with your money, thinking for money you're gonna get healed. And that's exactly, I think that's how black folk are. Black folks see another black person that's got the esoteric knowledge, the hidden knowledge, the occult knowledge, and he's sharing it with you, and he's charging a fee off of it. And then you're not doing your research, you're just paying for the information, but you're not really doing the research and vetting out what he's selling you. And now you mad when shit don't go your way. You're like, oh, well, I invested. That's why I don't understand all these people that was investing in that real estate fund. Well, y'all shit. You know what? Those people that were investing in that real estate fund, they had no idea about stocks, bonds, real estate funds, none of that shit. REITs, real estate investment trusts, they because they never read a book on stocks, bonds, money market accounts, none of that stuff. I'm not saying I know a lot about it, but I was probably way more versed on it than a lot of people at that corner class. I know I was. Mutual funds, I know I was. You're like, well, why you think you know you was, Warren? Because I could just tell. A lot of people there, it was a brother that was there that was like, yeah, I have my own business. I was like, well, what is it? You got any cars? You had no cars, no nothing, no website, no nothing. Okay, well, all right, cool. I still was like, okay, well, what's your business? He's like, oh, I ain't got a name for it. We spend too much time, I think a lot of us, fronting like we have it. I can only speak about us today. We spend a lot of time faking it till we make it and fronting. Almost like that lawyer of Bobby Brown, the lady that's on the Housewives, that kept calling the paparazzi every time he went to court, and she would lose the fucking cases for him, lose the court cases for him. I forgot her name. Housewives of Black Bra. What's her name? She was Bobby Brown's attorney at first. And he's like, man, every time we showed up to court, it was paparazzi out there. Because that bitch was just faking it till she made it. She wasn't winning no cases. Motherfuckers be thinking because a lawyer sounds good that all of a sudden that they just the smartest person in the room. Man, please, you smart because you took tests that white people gave you on their laws. That's all that is. Stop. Anybody can learn a law. They just don't want to take the time to learn it. I think we spend more time, it's just me, faking it till we make it. I've learned from that as well. That's why, again, I'm going to say it one more time, Shiny. That's why I was like, nope, we're not doing no Cash Apps. We're not doing no PayPal. We're not doing none of that shit. Nope. At first, I started out, I was working through kinks and trying to, wait for the people. And I was like, nah, fuck all that. When Nuke not here, I'm just doing this shit by myself. When she here, we'll do it. When she not, I'm going to just handle it by myself. I don't want nobody on here. Unless it's people that I fuck with. Nope. I'm not finna be promoting. No, I'm not. I'm gonna promote people stuff that I deal with. If I don't deal with you, I'm not promoting you. That's just how it is. I don't care. You're like, well, you ain't got no followers anyway. Good. That's why I didn't get the fuck on. That's why I like my shit like this, because I don't want motherfuckers circling the wagon, because you know how it is once you kind of get popping and motherfuckers come back around and shit. Some church people will pray with you at church and drive by a church member walking in a snowstorm and don't offer a ride. That's a fact. I grew up like that. I saw it. I saw it, man. I saw it from other churches. I went to other churches and I saw it. I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. Like I said, I can only keep it. And you look, you can tell there's social stratification going on, in my personal opinion, when you look at the pastor, he's got bread, money, you know what I'm saying? And then his congregation, his flock, the majority of them is poor, but they still giving, they still faithful. That's a finesse, in my personal opinion. And then the church is tight, parking lot's tight, but everything around them is raggedy. Or they're not doing nothing to uplift the community by teaching them about stocks. A lot of the pastors and preachers don't know that. And then the ones that do know it, they're not going to put you on the game. That's why I'm going hard on us about, look, you need to vet people out that you're dealing with. And then after you vet them out, you can silently be like, I don't agree with that, but I'm going to still show love and support. Like I said, I never donated to the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I never did any of that. I bought his book, though. I don't regret buying his book. I don't regret giving him props that he made Vlad TV look dumb, because I think Jay Morrison knows his shit. I just think a lot of people don't vet people out and do the research on their own, and then they be mad when the shit goes robust. I'm telling you. It's like donating to a church and donating and paying tithes and doing all this other shit, and then when you down and out, the church be like, oh, well, we can't help you. And then you be mad, like, well, I gave them. Well, why was you blindly giving them your money if you didn't know where it was going? So that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Thorough research. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, even when you do thorough research, sometimes you get in where you fit in. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. I get it. I understand, man. Nobody's perfect. I understand that. But I feel like we got to be honorable in business and with money. And when you're dealing with people's money, ain't a damn thing funny. So you got to be transparent and stop finessing each other. I've been around more black folk that get off on just finessing each other, but not learning the game and practicing shit the correct way so they don't have to worry about getting finessed. Let me see. Atlanta church asked to see your tax return to join Creflo Dollar. Look it up. Oh, I believe it. Exactly. That type of shit. But we don't want to put these niggas on. It's suck-ass niggas that go to these churches and put this shit on. That's a finesse. I don't care what nobody say. You going to a big-ass mega church and you giving all this money to these niggas, you don't know where this fucking money going. I bet you these preachers live in lavish ass lifestyles while his flock is living in apartments, paying car notes on fucking 2005 motherfucking Chevy Malibus and shit. That's what the fuck is going on. But these niggas is getting in. That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I personally, when I'm dealing with someone, like I told y'all, and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again, when I deal with Dr. Claude Anderson, I'm not worried about his financial. Just give me the books and I'll do it myself. I'm not trying to delve into your financial shit, and I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't even want to know because I don't care. I just want the book knowledge for myself. Dr. Claude Anderson is not my messiah. Dr. Claude Anderson is a guide to show us what we should be doing. But I think a lot of us put these motherfuckers on pedestals, and then when shit don't work out the way that they want, because they may not be as honorable in business the way that you may like them to, now you on the internet, you talking shit, you talking crazy. Stop. Motherfuckers gotta stop that shit, man. Because I see it more than ever, and I'm like, damn, this shit is kind of whack that niggas be on this shit, where they be constantly just going at each other the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And you doing business with a motherfucker, you don't vet them out, and then when the business go belly up, now you mad. Trust and believe you me. I've done business, you know, but I'm not even upset because it's on me. I just take it as a lesson well learned, and I move forward, and I learn from those mistakes, and now, that's why, fuck that. You come to me with business, your shit better be on point, because I know my shit is, and the shit that ain't on point, I'll be doing my research and reading it on my own. That's real. That's why when I was listening to Sister Jaguar Wright, and she was so popular in 2000 and in the 90s, and You know, she was very popular, but you can tell business wasn't handled correctly, and that builds up frustrations, longing frustrations in certain people. That's why groups break up. Money. Business not being done correctly, not being honorable with money. If you're not honorable in business, not honorable with money, it just ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, that's why I had to do this podcast today, because I just been seeing it and I'm like, man, black folks, we gotta understand, man. When you're donating to a cause, you just donate to a cause. If somebody's telling you you're gonna get money back, you can believe that person. You go do the research yourself before you go do it. No, don't trip, Shawnee, man. I'm about to get up right here now. I got shit to handle, shit like that. But be honorable in business. I'm telling y'all that right now. If you're not honorable in business, don't even think about it. Because all it's going to do is backfire on you, man. I appreciate everybody listening, man. I'm out. I'll hit y'all up either tomorrow or Tuesday, man. Hey, if you're not honorable with money in business and you bullshitting and fucking around and faking it till you make it, guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.